All right, welcome everybody. This week you're going to be talking about appreciative inquiry, and appreciative learning. Um, and you're going to read a lot about it. And one of the things about appreciative inquiry, or AI, as we like to use for acronym for it. And, of course, AI is being used for something else now, but just purposes of this video, I'm going to say AI. But appreciative inquiry is it deliberately focuses on attention, dialogue, and learning of your organization, and the people within your organization. Now, when you're using appreciative inquiry, you're actually in the process, right, of the organization, and you're actually in the midst of it. So, as a researcher, one of the things we use with appreciative inquiry is that we actually, do our research within the organizations, or just by being a part of the organization, right? And you're sitting back and you're actually learning people. You're not there to judge people. You're not there to even judge yourself. You're really there to learn. And so, if you're using AI, then you need to put yourself in a learning capacity. Understanding different personnel, different organizational personnel. And so, appreciative inquiry, it takes some skill. You're not going to be perfect in it in the beginning, but it's something that you can use instead of walking in and being the smartest person in the room. You want to walk in, even though you might be the smartest person in the room, you still want to walk in with that mindset of, okay, I'm here to learn more about how the organization works. So, for instance, one of my consulting projects that I use, appreciative inquiry. When I went into the organization, into my client's organization, I went in there. They knew I was there as a consultant and everything, but I went in there asking questions on gaining understanding and and learning how the organization works, right? And organization can show you how they work on paper, but an organization really works with the people inside of it. And so one of the ways to do it is for people to be comfortable with you around, and so that way that they can be honest in what they do and in what they say, right? So so appreciative inquiry is not only there to help you learn about your organization, or there to learn about um, the personnel. It's also there for you to learn about yourself, right? And how you work within an organization, or how you work with certain people. That's one of the things that I talk about in my book, The Black Print of Leadership. I'm talking about appreciative inquiry. I'm talking about AI, but I do talk about in the communication skill. I talk about learning how to work with different people, and one of the ways you do that is with AI. You sit back and you learn how people think, how people work. Um, and you're not there to directly ask them questions. You're there in the midst of their environment, and while they're in the midst of completing their task, or operating within their environment, you are there studying them, right? And I use this as an example of a lot of I can't get the word what they actually call, but people who go into safaris, or people who go and they study animals in their natural habitat, right? One of the things they do, they go in there and they study, they watch them, they just study them, but they don't get involved to where the animals know that they're there, right? And so they just want to sit back and they just want to watch. They just want to see how they operate, why they operate that way, and things. So it's somewhat the same way. It's not like, I'm not calling people animals or anything like that. I'm just saying you want to work with appreciative inquiry the same exact way. You want to sit back and you want to immerse yourself in the environment to say, okay, what is it that I need to learn and understand about this environment, or about this organization? And at the same time, what is it that, if I'm a part of that organization, right? If you're a part of that organization, what is it that I need to learn about myself while I operate within this organization? And so, when you can understand appreciative inquiry and you can use it, right, effectively, okay, in while you at work or in your organization, then you step back and say, okay, well, how do I do that in my life too, right? Because as a leader, you got to understand something. As a leader, you have your own life too. You're your own person, and you are a leader. You're the leader, and what you do, how you do, what you think, and everything that you do within your organization is your leadership, Okay, and that's your leadership environment. So to understand AI, when you understand AI, and to understand AI, you have to immerse yourself in it, and then you turn around and how do I apply that in my everyday living? So how are you? I always let people know, you know, I'm Dr. Williams, and I know everything about myself. 98% of the time, I know how I'm going to respond. 98% of the time, I know what I'm going to do, what I'm going to say in a certain situation or certain circumstance, because I sit back and I use appreciative inquiry even in my own life, right? To sit back and say, okay, this is how I'm going to respond in this situation because I know me, I know who I am as a person. I know who I am as a leader within this type of environment. So when you're working with appreciative inquiry this week, try to take some of those steps and methods and try to apply them to your personal life as well as to your to your professional life, and then you get to understanding yourself more as a leader, and then you get to understand your leadership environment too. So take this moment to do that this week, and see how they work out for you. All right. I see y'all on the next subject.